Hi, it's me again with Corel Tips and Tricks. Over the last couple of days, I've made a video on this. I helped somebody, and then I showed people how to design it per someone asking. Then I thought you could use any shape. So here I did a square. It's not as cool, but let's do it with let's say a five-sided polygon. Now, as always, when you do a polygon, start off with a six-sided. Hold down the control button, make it perfect, and then hit P to put it in the center of the page. And then when you make it a 5, it will be in the center of the page. And if we bring in indexing lines, that kind of shows you that Corel thinks it's right there, but the center is actually right there. So we're going to do the exact same thing, maybe a little bit smaller circles, but just have it snap to that node, hit your plus key on the keyboard, and you really don't need the polygon anymore. You can keep it right now, or we can move it out of the way. So now we just need to make a couple of shapes. And this is where your artistic ability would come in, which I don't have very much. So we're going to go from like right there to right there, and we're going to bend that down. Maybe like right in there. Then we're going to go here, and we're going to go right about there, and we're going to bend it down, kind of making it match. Now we need to go to the front and go past the arc of the, that doesn't look very good. Let's do that right there. And then we can just, call that good. Whoa, get your tool out. Get rid of that. Get the pick tool, magnifying glass. Get your shape tool. And you can reshape this guy by moving this, like that. Don't worry about it that it's not on the edge right now. Doesn't really have to be. But what we want these two parts to be gone. So we're going to take the Smart Fill tool and fill that in. I've got a little bit of space right there. We don't need to delete it. I evidently hit the wrong one. Because it's on the outside, it's not going to affect us. But I don't like that sharp corner right there. So what we're going to do, and this is a good lesson, take the Smart Fill tool and fill that in. And let's nudge that over. But then let's left click, right click, and let's take out that. You could do it two ways. I'm going to use the smoothing tool and just click on that item and just kind of smooth out that corner. That looks okay. So now let's bring it back, and you can see the two steps. So now we need to fill it in with the Smart Fill tool again, and I'm actually going to move them out of the way. And we're going to hit delete, and we're going to put these back. Now, before we do anything else, we're going to left click, right click. Left click on that, right click on, Okay, now what we want to do is let's Control G to group them, Control G to group them, Control D to duplicate it. Double click on your X and move it to the center of the page. And rotate it 72 degrees. And you can see if we didn't do this, this would what be the problem would be. That doesn't look worth a flip right there. So what we're going to do, this way they'll all, well, that won't work. We need to take away, let's take away that line. We don't have to take away that line. And then we got a little break right here. So let's take our shape tool and just take that node right in. Because it's grouped together, I have to go up to Effect or Object, Group, and ungroup it. Grab the shape tool again, get that node. Evidently it's grouped. Go up to Object, Group, and ungroup. Get your shape tool and just bring this. You can actually go past it. It doesn't matter. I had a double line. That's what my trouble was. So that's good. We don't have to get rid of that. So now let's Smart Fill again. And by doing that, we're going to have a perfect, when we rotate it, it'll be perfect. So I'm going to get rid of this, select both those and move them back. Now let's get the interactive fill tool which is underneath your Smart Fill tool, or vice versa. And let's go up here and put black. Too much, way too much. You know what? I'm going to back that up. That shouldn't go past there. Let's do one at a time. Let's take the Smart Fill tool. The interactive fill tool looked like it was filling in that other thing, the other side. So this time it definitely won't. There we go. Put a little black there. Too much, so we'll get our slide handle and put it up there. That looks pretty good. Now we'll take the Smart Fill tool again, fill that in, and just do the opposite. Or really, you could actually probably leave it like that, and because I've made a couple of videos on this, I think I'm going to clone this one, and that way in real time you can kind of see what it's going to look like. I think that's pretty good. Now let's group this together and go up to edit and clone it. Now I'm going to move one of them out of the way. This is our clone curve. You know what? You can't group it. So let's take that away and let's ungroup this. I was kind of questioning that. So now let's make a clone of that. Move it over. And you can see that this is our clone curve, where this is our control curve. So we're going to make a clone of that. Edit, clone, and move it over. And this, once again, is our control curve. So we want to move that out of the way. Now we can Control G to group it and move it back. Now Control D to duplicate it. Hit on the center of the page. And you have to do this to group it. Now we've already got it in the center of the page, so I'm going to rotate it. And that doesn't look too bad. But if we take all this, that looks pretty good, really. Go up to Object, Group, and Ungroup All. Then when we bring in our clone, it'll change it on all 5 of them at one time. So we're going to take this one, get back to the Interactive Fill tool, and let's put a little, see what happens when we put a little white in there. See what it did? I mean, look at that. Now, I don't really like that, so let's put a little more blue on this side of it. Just kind of have a ring to it. Wow. And then you can move this down. That way, see, in real time, you can see where it is. I like it. Now, we're going to do the same thing to this one. Let's put a little white in it. See what it did? I mean, just, and maybe you don't want it on top of that other one. And, let's put a little blue on the other side of it. That's going to reduce that look. And to me, it looks like a shiny mirror. Now, let's move this out of the way and take away the indexing lines. And let's bring in a black box. Make a box. Left-click black. Go up to Object, Order, Backup Page. That looks pretty cool. I don't know what you'd ever do for it, but this way, when you have a clone, it makes life so much easier to work with and really see what it's going to look like. Anyway, hope that helped a little bit, and thank you for watching.